members, this is SB 1254. This allows and assists incarcerated folks applying for CalFresh benefits up to 90 days before they're released to better prepare for their reentry. And again, just to clarify, this bill provides individuals with CalFresh only upon their exit from a facility. And you all know about SNAP, known as CalFresh in California, largest federal food assistance program in the country. Again, these are federal dollars we're drawing down. As you all know, we've had issues in California with our percent of folks eligible who actually access these essentially free dollars from the federal government. And right now, under federal law, incarcerated individuals become ineligible to receive CalFresh benefits after 30 days of confinement. However, the USDA provides for waivers to deviate from that current provision, which 12 states have already done so. In fact, Orange County has a pilot program since 2021. They do it for everyone leaving. They start the process 30 days before someone exits, and we've talked to the sheriffs there, and they're supportive, and that's going well. Given that, I'll let my witnesses talk really more about the need to do this, but I'll just say, again, this builds on existing work in connecting individuals with state services in an effective manner, decreasing barriers to reentry, and helping address the issue of food insecurity. And with that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Moving on to witnesses, you have 4 minutes between the two.
Good morning. My name is Kameron Mims-Jones, and I'm a senior.
Move the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sir. You can move it to you.
Got it. Good morning. My name is Kameron Mims-Jones, and I'm a senior advocate with Nourish, California. Our mission has been to ensure equitable access to food, health, and well-being for over 3 decades. Our minoritized and historically under-resourced communities already hit by hardest by mass incarceration and a legacy of systemic racism also bear the public safety burden. 1254 was developed alongside those communities who have said enough is enough. We want solutions developed with our impact in mind. Acknowledging the moment we are in and the sentiments expressed by our communities across the state is imperative. Bold and innovative approaches are urgently needed to address the genuine public safety concerns we all face today. At the same time, we must invest in consistent resources for individuals transitioning back to community from incarceration. The lack of these resources has created significant challenges that we can no longer afford to ignore. SB 1254 comes from a restorative framework, an upstream policy aimed at the enduring impacts of incarceration. By enabling incarcerated individuals who will be eligible upon release to begin the process before returning home, this initiative would address not only immediate needs, but foster long-term well-being. California has seen CalFresh as a lifeline, and it helps millions put food on the table. It's our most effective anti-poverty program, and it is administered by our counties. We recognize that communities thrive when access to nutritious and culturally relevant food are prioritized and ensured. There are diverse experiences on this topic within our communities, so 1254 was developed to engage interested parties in meaningful dialogue. This bill will enable us to correct and to identify best practices to effectively support our reentry process. I respectively ask for your vote on 1254, and my esteemed colleague will speak to this.
Good morning. A lot of you guys know me. I've came in here several times, and I usually share my personal story. But today I'm going to talk about my work at LSPC. I'm the reentry care coordinator for NorCal for All of Us or None, and that's primarily 4 chapters. But we see many people that are coming from the California Department of Corrections that Alameda County, particularly where I'm stationed, has no resources for these people, for specifically for food as immediate relief. And what we're finding is that on average, best case scenario, 7 days, worst case, we've seen 21 and upwards, people waiting to access emergency food services through the current CalFresh program. So for me, this is personal because obviously, you know, I just came home after serving 25 years about 3 years ago. So fortunately, I was blessed. I had family surrounding me, but the women and men, and yes, children, because the state of California is still incarcerating children and paroling children from adult prisons, are coming into our office asking for relief. The burden is being bared by CBOs primarily. And for those of us that are involved in this work on a daily basis, it's heartbreaking. And I obviously ask for your I vote respectfully.
Thank you. Moving to members of the public who would like to offer Me Too support, name, organization, and position.
Danica Rodarma on behalf of Initiate Justice and support.
ACLU, California Action, strong support. Thank you.
Melanie Kim, San Francisco Public Defender's Office, in support. Simulia Rogers, Ella Baker Center for Human Rights, in support.
Layla Goldberg, Ella Baker Center for Human Rights, in support.
Margot George, California Public Defenders Association, in support. Thank you.
Molly Sheehan with the California Catholic Conference, in support. Thanks.
Morning, Faith Lee with Asian Americans Advancing Justice, Southern California, we're in support.
Kathy Mossberg with the California Association of Food Banks, in support.
Jim Lindbergh, Friends Committee on Legislation of California, in support.
Tren Vaughn with Justice and Aging, in strong support. Thank you.
Yolanda Navarrete, outside organizer with Initiate Justice and Initiate Justice Action. We're in strong support. Thank you.
Dax Proctor for Californians United for Responsible Budget, in support.
Good morning, Carlos Santana on behalf of the California Immigrant Policy Center, in support.
Thank you. Opposition, let's come forward. Thank you. You have 4 minutes.
Mr. Chair and members, Corey Salzillo on behalf of the California State Sheriff's Association in opposition to the bill. As we've noted in previous committees, we understand and appreciate the goal of easing reentry of formerly incarcerated persons, but this creates expensive challenges without funding or the guarantee that the program will actually be approved by the federal government. In order for this unfunded mandate to be even implemented, state officials would have to seek and receive a federal waiver. There's no assurance such would occur. It might happen, it might be likely to happen, but there's no guarantee, and the work that will be done in advance has to be done. Further, our state and local correctional systems are already in the middle of a years-long process to implement the second part of the CalAIM-JI, or Justice Involved Initiative, which, as you know, requires the provision of in-reach services to county jail inmates within 90 days of release. This new program will not be rolled out in counties any earlier than October 1st, 2024, and at that point it will only be in a handful of counties, and very few, if any, counties will be ready or willing to proceed at that time. So layering on another program that will require resources that are currently unaccounted for, both in funding and staff capacity, could hamstring local correctional efforts, even now that the bill's requirements do not commence until CalAIM is implemented. So for those reasons, we respectfully ask for your no vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in opposition, please come forward. Seeing none, questions or comments from committee members? Councilmember Reyes.
The financial concern, that's a valid concern. How are we going to pay for this? But I think the idea of setting somebody up, they're going to be released, to have them set up so that they can, upon their release, begin to receive CalFresh, I think is just a humane thing to do, and I think it helps to set people up. I think it's a very good bill. With that, I would move the bill.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Seeing no further questions or comments, Mr. Becker, you may close.
Thank you. Yeah, we have made substantial changes along the way. This bill also, as I didn't go into great detail, but does create a work group looking at the reentry process, and we have representatives now from the sheriff and others in consultation from the previous hearings. It doesn't take effect, as you mentioned, until we do some of these other pieces. And with respect, that case, I've been told, and we talked to the Orange County pilot, this really then should just be a few extra questions on a form to get people signed up. With that, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
On SB 1254 by Senator Becker, the motion is due pass to the Appropriations Committee. McCarty.
Aye.
McCarty, aye. Alanis. Lackey. Wynn. Wynn, aye. Reyes.
Aye.
Reyes, aye. Ting. Wilson. Zabur. Zabur, aye.
Thank you.